Hey out there, Big Red Barrel community, and welcome to the official, real, authentic first episode of The Locals. We swear to God this is it. I've said that maybe 5 times now, Mike, but this is going to be it.
But they don't know that.
They don't know that, and you never will. You never would have unless I just said that. I'm the Fisherman.
I'm Mike.
And so this is The Locals. The show is for the Big Red Barrel community about local multiplayer. We're going to be playing all kinds of offline multiplayer with each other. We're going to be playing video games, board games.
We play with each other all the time.
And it goes on all night long. Well, usually only about a half an hour.
Yeah.
That's about how long I can
It
last.
usually doesn't take us all that long.
No.
Which is good. It makes for a good show.
Yeah, exactly. It makes it easier for you to edit and
Sure
make it
does.
into something that we can actually show on the internet. I mean, we have to run it through a few filters before we figure out exactly what we're going to show. But, you know, that's behind the curtain. You guys don't need to hear about that. So it's not all about playing games, Mike. We have something else that it's about, too.
Right. One of the biggest aspects is we're going to be talking about drinking and, you know, which games are good or maybe not so good based on how much you've had to drink.
Right. And for each game that we play, we're going to create a drinking rules set, a drinking game around it, and try and sort of test our own mettle in terms of making a drinking game. I think we've been pretty successful so far. In this episode you're about to see now, we're playing NFL Blitz, and I think that we totally nailed it on that drinking game.
I got blitzed.
Yeah. Well, we both got blitzed, rousing it in well, you'll see how high, what a high number we get. We got to get a better breathalyzer.
Yeah, but that's neither here nor there. That's something we'll figure out down the line. But the point is, we wanted to explain a little bit about the show because what was supposed to be the pilot episode or episode number 1 ended up not happening because of some technical difficulties.
Right, and in that show we had played GoldenEye, so you're going to hear a couple of references to GoldenEye throughout the show. We're going to sprinkle it in there, but don't worry about that. You might see that show later on down the line if we choose to release it. It just wasn't where we want it to be.
Yeah, no, it was, and it wasn't really anybody's fault. It was just a couple of things went wrong. Well, I should say enough things went wrong to where I didn't want to release it.
Sure, yeah, that's fair enough. So we want to make this a great show for you. So we want to go right out of the gate with a really fun show. So we hope you really enjoy this episode of The Locals with NFL Blitz, and thanks for watching. Hey out there, Big Red Barrel community, and welcome to The Locals, the first official episode. I'm the Fisherman.
And I'm Mike.
And Mike, I would feel remiss if we don't address the 800-pound barrel in the room.
Yeah.
Sitting right here.
This thing is sweet.
How about this, right? You know, found this puppy on Craigslist, $15. Wasn't red and silver before.
You did a hell of a job.
Couple coats of spray paint, you know.
Yeah. No,
That
that looks great.
Yeah, so this is going to be our mascot for the show. This will be our set decoration. You'll be seeing a lot of this barrel. You might see it over there on the couch this sometime playing games. It's a little wet right now, so probably not tonight. But you know, you'll see it around. You might see it around in different places too.
It could be like the Travelocity gnome.
I think so. I think you take pictures of it everywhere. We're going to bring it to PAX, I think for sure.
Well, yeah. Everybody's going to want to line up to take pictures with it.
I remember last year with that other site. What Dogs Die had was a baseball that he had to have the developers hold on to when when he was interviewing them. I think you give them this puppy right here.
Well, and I think, you know, Dogs Die thought that was a lot funnier than everybody else did with the baseball.
I think so too. I think this will
fine.
resonate with everybody though, right? Except for maybe the person that's got hanging onto it.
The point is that we are better than him,
right?
in pretty much every fashion. So
your move, Dogs Die.
yeah, one up this.
So the game we're going to be playing is NFL Blitz. We want to get right to it. Don't want to waste any more time. We're going to get right into the game. But first we want to lay out our drinking rules, as of course we'll be drinking and seeing how the intoxication level affects us playing this game in particular.
The drinking rules that we're going to be playing with today actually started with a real football game that you were over for.
Yep.
And the way that it worked is everybody had to pick a team on arrival, and then based on what happened to your team or to the other team, you had to drink for so long.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna have to switch that up a little bit for this.
Right.
But I think this is gonna be better.
Yeah, and I want to go ahead and say up front that this is based. Everything that we're going to say is based on the drinking rules being the person who has given up this type of play takes the drink, except for certain scenarios where there's shots involved. It's all if you gave up this play, you take a drink. So here are the drinking rules for NFL Blitz for the locals.
Rule number 1: first down, take a drink.
Rule number 2: you give up a sack, you take a drink.
Rule number 3: touchdown, 3 drinks.
And if you go for 2 points and you make it, that makes it 4 drinks.
But if you miss, you have to take one of those drinks back.
It's clearly the most complicated rule that we have for NFL Blitz. Rule number 4: you give up the ball through turnover, that's 2 drinks.
All right, and the last rule: whoever is ahead at the end of each quarter takes a shot.
So those are the drinking rules. Mike, let's
Sir?
get local. Uh-oh. Oh! Quarterback sack.
How many drinks?
That's one. That's 1 drink for you.
You son of a...
I didn't know you could do that. Well, now you know. That's the first quarter. Better pause it while I do this.
Good.
It's about to be 3 more.
Good God.
Here we go. So hold on to your sanity.
Oh my God.
I think the important thing here is this is all for science. Welcome back to the locals. We just got finished playing NFL Blitz. Mike, your thoughts?
My thoughts are very much like GoldenEye. I had a lot of drinks.
Right.
You had a lot of shots.
That's how it happened, isn't it? See, I'm sorry, you guys. We didn't capture a lot of the game footage. Probably hardly any of the game footage.
We didn't capture any of it.
Any of the actual in-game footage. But suffice to say, if you would have seen it, you would have seen the Indianapolis Colts destroying the Seattle Seahawks, as it should be, and as it would be, maybe in the past decade.
Well, yeah, and lineups may not have been exactly how they were this year.
That's true. It's sort of a 2010 game more than a 2011 game.
Yeah.
Because if you guys aren't sports fans, the Colts this year were terrible because Peyton Manning was not playing quarterback.
By terrible, he means last place in the NFL.
2-14.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but that's because Peyton Manning wasn't playing. In this game, Peyton Manning is available to play as the Indianapolis Colts quarterback, and he did, and he destroyed you.
Destroyed. Yeah. And to be fair, I had never played the game. But
okay.
I'm a big sports fan.
Yeah, sure.
And I really like sports games. And this one obviously takes all the realism out of the game.
It takes all the boring stuff out of the game.
Well, that's the other side of that coin.
Right? I mean, no, I'm serious because it takes all the kickoffs out. It takes
Yep.
all the extra point attempts out, unless you go for 2.
Yep.
It takes, it strongly discourages you from going from field goals or punts. So everything is a 4-down shot. It's a different kind of sports game than what you actually see on the NFL, and that's what Blitz always was for
Yeah.
me.
It seemed like it was a bit toned down from the original one. You know, in the original one, and I may be remembering this wrong, but I remember being able to hit people after plays.
Yeah.
And
Interestingly enough, Mike, the reason they can't do that anymore is because the NFL got in their business. They were developing the game, and the NFL said, no, not anymore. You can't hit people after plays. You can't do crazy suplexes where it looks like they broke their neck or anything. That's something you cannot do in this game. And so that's why they took it out. They had it in there, but they had to take it out to release it.
That's tough. I can see both sides of the argument, but I mean, honestly, it's a video game, and if it's Blitz, the people are playing it specifically to be able to do that kind of stuff, you know?
The Army isn't telling Call of Duty how to do things, right?
Well, maybe they are. I don't know.
Yeah, they could be, but you have to think they aren't. And I had a fun time with it. Obviously, I had a fun time scoring a lot of touchdowns.
Yeah, you had a fun time kicking the hell out of me.
But you really got after me in the second half there. I mean, it was pretty.
Oh, actually, it was only in the third quarter, really. But
yeah, third quarter you won, but that would be the one quarter that you took from me. But so that's our verdict on NFL Blitz as a drinking game.
As a drinking game, I think that our rules were perfect. Actually,
I think so too.
it seemed like at the time, we were drinking an excessive amount.
We were.
You know, I guess that's a subjective statement, because what's excessive for one person might not be excessive for another. But
Apparently not, right? Because our friend the breathalyzer over here just told us that we both blew a .10, which I don't know, Mike. It seems out of. It doesn't seem like we are feeling like a .10 right now. I feel like I shouldn't be .02 away from being legal to drive right now.
you feel like you shouldn't be driving.
I feel like I shouldn't be driving, and I won't be. I won't be driving, but I feel like I shouldn't be almost okay to drive. Anyways, because I had 4 shots during the game. Because as you recall, and here he goes again. As you recall, the drinking rules were that everybody, that the person who was ahead at the end of each quarter took a shot. Well, as predicted, as you'll see, I won each quarter in the game, which I guess maybe probably should have been another shot. I think this show can be at least a guiding light for those that want to create drinking rules for the games they're playing.
Know that you can do it. You have the power.
You can. And if you've played a game with a friend on a couch, just hanging out, drinking, playing a video game, and you come with a drinking game, please let us know. Mike at BigRedBarrel.com.
Yep.
Fisherman at BigRedBarrel.com. Let us know, because we want to incorporate that. We want to try it. We want to try it ourselves, and we want to show it to the world. And we will continue to create drinking rules for games and coming up with games within games for your watching and viewing pleasure.
Absolutely.
So,
Mr. Fish,
yes,
out of 5 barrels, NFL Blitz.
I want to give this one 4.
Okay.
I felt like it was a fun time. It was a super fun time. Obviously, there are problems with the game. You can tell what's going to happen. You can game plan around your opponent if they give off these signals.
Yeah.
It's Blitz, man. If you played NFL Blitz, you know what you're getting. It's raucous, all out, no penalties. You can destroy wide receivers before they ever get the ball. You can, and which happens.
Which is a great strategy.
Oh, it's fantastic. if you can understand where they're going with the ball, it's makes the game so much better, and it's almost like a second blitz. Like, you bring a bunch of guys forward to sack the quarterback, or you can hang everybody back to just destroy the wide receivers.
And matter of fact, if you're good enough, you could probably, dive, change, dive, change, dive, change, and just take all the receivers out at once.
Probably. Yeah, there's big blitz competitions that go on around the world. Still Blitz, the arcade game, happens around the world. Big competitions and things. And I think this new release is a big one for them. But I give the game 4 out of 5 barrels. How about you, Mike?
You know what? Honestly, I mean, I would say as a drinking game, I gotta give it 5 out of 5.
5 out of 5.
And that's I think that I don't want to be too liberal with 5 out of 5. I think drinking and play. I think that drinking and playing this game is the way it's meant to be played.
I think you're right. I think it's almost you have to try to find faults with it, because it's a very good drinking game.
I wanted to punch you so many times.
Oh my God, I know. I can feel it. I can feel it coming, man. Those 99-yard touchdowns, those kick return touchdowns, man. You were, and all you could do, you couldn't punch me. All you could do was pick up your glass and start drinking.
Which I did.
Yeah, and then the quarter would end, and I would take a shot. So we're both having a great time making this for you guys. I hope you guys are having a good time watching this. Thank you so much for watching The Locals, and we'll be back next in a couple of weeks for the next show of The Locals.
Boom.
Hey out there, Big Red Barrel community. This is the first official episode of The Locals. My name's The Fisherman.
And I'm Mike.
And so we have this. I got to start over. I totally lost my train of thought.
I just like that your hair is like 4 inches shorter in this.
Then it's gonna be
it's hilarious. Like somehow it just grew completely out. Hey out there, Big Red Barrel community, and welcome to the official first episode of The Locals. Jesus Christ, Mike. Don't look at me like that. Hey out there, Big Red, thank you very much. So we hope you really enjoy this episode of The Locals with NFL Blitz, and thanks for watching. There it is.
Nice job, asshole.
What? Off.